A friend reached out to me earlier today, and she was saying, Pastor Cherry, I wanted to find out what your thoughts were regarding this person who is interested in me, and I'm interested in them, but they're still kind of tied up with the person that they were with. Faith that conquers, amen. That's all right. She said they're still caught up with the person that they're with. All of us desire, or many of us, let me say not say all of us, many of us desire to be in a relationship, to be loved by someone, and that's well and good. That's good. That's a good desire to have somebody in your life. Jennifer Dismore is watching. But you got to look at it and be realistic and understand, take some time to figure out who you are, because that's going to be so important regarding you interfacing with someone else. You've got to know who you are first and what you want. And understand that when you add somebody, you're going to have to be willing to give. It can't be all about you, but you're going to have to be willing to give. Martina Fudge is with us tonight. That's my sister. Love you, honey. Bless you tonight. So let me just say this. You got to know when you let somebody into your life and you're getting ready you want to get to know them, you need to find out, not just by words, by asking them questions and letting them answer you. You need to know, are they clear? What does clear mean? Are they clear in terms of their soul, their heart, their mind? If they're just getting out of a relationship, they're not clear. Many of us have made a mistake of trying to add somebody into our lives who are not ready. I've done it. I've made the mistake of trying to think that I could help them along. And you're setting yourself up in a place to be hurt, because it happens all the time. Sometimes you think that the person wants you, and they may think that they want you in the initial stages, but a lot of times, and they're doing it, they could be doing it purposely, or they could be doing it subconsciously. They could be adding you, allowing you to be a part of their life, and they realize later on that now that they're healed, their needs change. Let me say this. If I was in a hospital, the care that I need, the attention that I need is going to be different than when I'm sick and I'm in the hospital. Is going to be different. The care that I need is different from when I'm finally healed. Okay? So you need to really think about that. There are different stages of healing, and a lot of times you might be used to one thing and think that, okay, this is good. I like the attention that I'm getting right now. This is helping me. But once I'm whole, I realize that I no longer need that same thing that you're trying to give me. And even though I try to bring you into my life thinking that what you've done for me will continue to work for me, there may come a time that I've outgrown what you provided. How many of us have been hurt by people because we let them in our lives and we've tried to fix? Somebody said already, confirmation. We help them through, and that's why we get so upset with them. You're like, man, I was there for them when they were hurt. Camilla says very true. I was there for them when they were down. I helped them out in that area. You found this man. You helped him. You got his teeth fixed. Oh, y'all ain't with me. You helped him when he didn't have any money. You helped him when he was down. You nursed him when he was sick and all of that. And as soon as he got all that going on, then his needs changed. You can't go by what the person tells you, even though they're saying, I love you, I need you, and all that. When somebody is compromised emotionally, I'm here to tell you from experience, they don't know what they want. They're talking it, but they don't know what they want. So no matter, you can't go by them. You can't say, well, Pastor Cherry, this is a good conversation. Thank you for the warning. I'm going to go to them and talk to them and see what they say. Nobody in their right mind is going to give up their meds when they feel that they need them. Right now, you could be their medication that's keeping them stable and balanced, and they're not going to give up what you're offering. They're not going to give it up. They're not going to give up. They're not going to say, they're not going to be willing to risk losing you because they need to hold on to you. Methadone is what they give drug addicts to help them alleviate the symptoms from the drugs that they're on. Methadone is something that you use in between. If you're hooked on drugs, methadone is used to help you in the process while you're trying to get off of the drugs. Thank you, Rob. That's the word I'm looking for. It helps you to detox. And many people that enter into our lives, even though they look like they're... When you see somebody, you see them at work, you see them with... You don't know if they're taking medication. All right? The only person who knows what people... some people say that they work in the pharmacy, like working in the pharmacy, because they know what's wrong with everybody that comes in there. Because they're looking at your prescription. And if it's for you, they know exactly what's going on. They know if you got a rash, oh, help us today. They know if you got, you done picked up something. They know if you got something, what it is, according to the medication. But people that we see and interact with, you don't know what medication they're on. So somebody who appears to be all together, they appear to be fine. You don't know what medication that they're on. And a lot of people are hooked on something from before, and they know they need to get off it. They know that it's been addictive in their life. But they know they need to get off, watch this. They know they need to get off it, the medication, because medicine often fixes one thing, but it destroys other things. It messes up some other areas. So you can take meds for one thing and it'll fix one thing, but then it'll destroy some other things. There are some things, if in medicine, that if you're on it long enough, that it will fix whatever it is that's wrong with you, but it will start, if you're on it too long, it'll start to damage and tear up other organs of your body. Remember we saw the movie The Temptations, when Blue kept taking those cortisone shots because his knees and whatever the condition was that he had, he was told by the doctor, you can't keep taking these cortisone shots. And he said, look, I've got to take them because it's the only thing that helps me to get on stage. My team needs me. I need to continue to take this cortisone. But the doctor was warning him that this cortisone, after a certain period of time, starts damaging your heart. Y'all not with me? It starts damaging some other organs. So there are people who appear not to have any ties to any medication, ties to anybody else, a previous relationship. They're smiling, they're happy. We take these people on, and they end up using us as methadone to try to get off the medicine that's possibly getting ready to shut down the organs of their spirit, y'all not with me, and their soul. So they're hooking up with you, hoping to use you as methadones. They do it, some people do it on purpose, and some people do it subconsciously. They don't realize that they're really doing it, but it's the needs of the flesh that they're gravitating towards you as methadone to use you to get off that person that they've hurt. How do I know? Because you all know, you and I have all of us have used people just like that. So you know it well. Can you be honest tonight? How many of us have dated people and tried to bring in people when we knew we were not clarity and clear. Y'all playing with me. Y'all playing with me. It's too late. It's too late in the evening to be playing with me. How many of us can be honest and said, you know what, I'm so sick, I can't function. I need to gravitate towards somebody because I'm sitting here thinking about this other person who I can't be with them. Well, they cheated on me. They don't want me anymore. I've got to move on, but I can't. Every time they call, I'm back at their house. Every time they text me, whatever they want me to do, I'm just so weak when it comes to them. I need some methadone to get off of this drug of them. How many of us have done that? So y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Many times we reap what we sow. We've forgotten about the time that we use people as methadone. So now here's somebody else. God bless you, Evangelist Pastor Crystal Backman. Love you. Here's somebody that comes and we gravitate toward them as a pharmaceutical to help us to get over whatever it is that we've been through. Now here we are. God bless you, Jeffrey. Here we are taking somebody in and they're using us in the same manner. That's why you need to be prayerful about anybody that's going to enter into your life, that you're thinking about, anybody that you're attracted to. You must sit down and pre-screen. You know how now everything is electronic. When you go to the doctor's office, a lot of times they give you an iPad. This is my wife's iPad. That's why it's got these funny colors. This ain't me, okay? I just grabbed the first thing. I ain't doing the pink thing. But anyway, but now they give you an iPad, and you've got to write down, when you first go to a new doctor, you've got to click those buttons on that iPad that they give you. It's normally like this. And you click the new medications or whatever. Since it's a new doctor, you let them, they ask you, what medicine are you already on? Or y'all not with me? And you need to take the time, because you can't go by face value. You can't go by face value. They look good, but many times they're on medication. You need to find out what medication that they are on. You need to find out if they are, and you do this by taking your time to get to know you, for you to get to know them. You take your time. Okay, you got to deal with, this is very important, buffeting your flesh. If you let your flesh dictate, your flesh wants to jump. Okay, can I just be honest with it? It's just like on a hot summer day. You go to somebody's house and they got a swimming pool, and you got a bathing suit, and you see that water. You want to jump in it as soon as possible, okay? Your flesh sees the opportunity. You're going to have to buffet the flesh, meaning you have to be stronger, and you tell this flesh what it's going to do. Hey, don't let your flesh order for you. All right, you're not with me. Don't let your flesh order for you, because your flesh is going to order up a bunch of stuff that you're not ready for yet. So you need to take your time. You need to be honest with yourself. If you are at the place in your life where you have to be up in somebody, you have to have somebody in your life, you're not ready for a relationship. If you can't go 2 minutes without looking for someone, going from person to person to person to person, if you're not ready yet, if you know that you got, I've seen some of you, a couple of you, have put on your page, I'm tired of being alone. I need somebody. That screams loud and clear that you ain't ready. You're not ready. Okay? This is not something that you need to advertise with on Facebook. If you're in God and God is in you, there's a reason for this separation period. I don't care how long it's been. I'm just telling you. There's a reason why you need to take this time to get yourself together and wait. Because again, when this person comes, you need to be clear and clear, baby, that as you're pre-screening for medications that they're on, it'll tell you loud and clear what's going on with them. And again, if you realize that they are not over that person that they're with, that they love, you're setting yourself up to be hurt. You're setting. Now let me give you an example. There was this woman that I really liked long, Bernie Mac, long time ago. And I didn't take time to pre-screen. I just liked her. I liked the way she looks. We were all a part of a singing group. And her mom was in the singing group. She was in the group when we all traveled. So it was convenient. Watch out for convenience. Because when you're around somebody, now you tend to take shortcuts. Okay. God bless you, OC. So glad to see that you're on. So you start to take shortcuts. So I let this person in my life. I didn't take time to see what medication she was on. This is a new doctor's appointment. I didn't take time. I didn't realize that she had just broken up with her boyfriend. And the fact she found out that he was cheating on her, so she had no choice but to move on. Rob Hubbard, you know who this person is. I ain't gonna mention him, but they had no choice. They had to move on. Here comes me. Here I come, thinking that it was about me. I'm like, oh, I'm the man. I done pulled this. She's into me, and there came times where I couldn't get her on the phone. She said, I'm coming over. I'm on my way to your house. He never gets there. So one day I said, man, I'm like, all right, let me see what's going on here. So one day, Steve Habersham, God bless you, sir. Stevie, God bless you, man. There was one day I said, okay, let me just drive, because I knew her. She kept saying, you know how y'all might have experienced this. You ever had somebody that's they no longer with that person, but they're close to some other family members in the house? Y'all know how that works. So she was still close to his grandmother, who he stayed with. And she told me time after time, I go over there to see the grandmother, but I'm not there, and it's only rare. I try to go when he's not there, but I'm not there for him. I try to go when he's not there. So late one night, I can't get on the phone. So I jump in my car and I drive over there, and this woman's car's over at the house, and they live upstairs. I mean, he lives upstairs. The grandmother, yeah, Deborah, how convenient. The grandmother's on the first floor. The lights are out in the house. So y'all ain't with me. And I realized, I said, okay, now I know what's going on. She wasn't there to see the grandmother, but she was there to see him. And again, she had not gotten over. And I was just a temporary fix. I was, as Rob Hubbard mentioned, the detox. When he didn't want her, y'all not with me. When he didn't want her, she came to me. She thought or pretended, she just took whatever she could get, used me as methadone to try to get herself clear. You remember in Boomerang, y'all know that's one of my favorite movies. I could probably use every inch of that movie as a metaphor to preach in some sermon here or there. But you remember when Eddie Murphy, Robin Gibbons had turned him out. He was, moping. And y'all remember, because he was walking around the job like, oh, I'm the man, I got 5 more minutes. I'm going to be off in 5 more minutes. He was walking around there. He was turning the women out at the job. He had all this confidence. Marcus, that's it, Crystal. He was just, just rolling there, coming in, tearing out folk. And he started falling in love with this woman and with Robin. And you remember she turned him out. It was a boomerang effect. She wasn't looking for a relationship, but he finally found somebody that he was really into. And that's how that happened too. You reap what you sow. You use somebody, somebody's going to end up using you. Y'all not with me tonight. And you've got to understand that. So he was hurt. Marcus Graham, he was hurt. He was devastated. His confidence was shot. I love how Chris Rock, Boney T, who they called in the movie, caught him right when he was walking to the door. And he hollered from up in the balcony, out in the hallway, so it echoed. Marcus, man, what's going on with you, man? He's like, man, this woman that turned you out, and he said, first the fat boys break up, now this. He said, there's nothing to believe in. He's like, but Marcus walked around there, and of course, Halle Berry had really liked him from the beginning, and she didn't see this, even though she saw, because remember she approached Robin and said, why don't you just let up on Marcus? You see what you're doing to him. And she's like, doing to him? What do you mean doing to him? And you could tell that she, So anyway, she spoke up for him. She knew what was going on with him, but she realized her what she wanted, which was this man. But in her wanting Marcus, she didn't really look at the entire situation, not knowing that he wasn't ready yet. But she figured if she was around, that sooner or later he would come around. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a dangerous thing for you to try to pull somebody, no matter how good you think you are, no matter how much you have to offer or that you think you have to offer. When a person is in turmoil and conflict over someone else, you're taking a big chance in letting them in your life. She did that. She moved in. She made a mistake. She helped be the methadone, and his confidence was built up again. Once his confidence was built up again, what did he do? He stepped back out to sleep with Robin, now that he got himself back together. See, that's what that girl did, how she did me. She was tore up inside once her boyfriend had left her, but I became the methadone, and to help her to get off the drug, her confidence got back up. And then when he showed some sign, any attention to her, she immediately went back. Same thing that happened in Boomerang. Many of us have nursed people back to health, and as soon as they got on their feet, they left us. You must pre-screen. What keeps us from pre-screening is our needs. All right? Let me give you another analogy. Have you ever seen people who have to rent a house or rent an apartment? Normally, you have to fill out an application. Normally, there's a credit check. Normally, it's a thorough thing. They check to see if you've had any previous evictions, and they check your credit, and they check all that. But when they're desperate, when the house has been, or the apartment has been sitting empty, and they have to, they have to eat them costs each month of this place sitting empty, they take the first person who appears to be able to pay the rent. You walk up on them, they be like, "Oh, no, don't worry about the credit check. Just can you come up with a deposit?" Some of them will let you pay the deposit a couple. Okay, give me $500 now. Then the next month you give me another $5. I'll let you even split the deposit. When they're desperate to have somebody move in, they take shortcuts. You're not with me, and that's why I'm telling you, you have to be whole. Because if you're not whole, you're not going to do a credit check. You're not going to check references according to your needs. This is my point. I'm saying all that to say tonight as I sign off, according to your needs, we often let people in our lives prematurely according to our needs. If you got a sexual need, you're going to let somebody in prematurely. If you have an emotional need, you're going to let somebody in prematurely. If you can't enjoy your own company and take time to get yourself together and can't enjoy your own company, you're going to prematurely let somebody in to pay the rent. You're going to try to let somebody in to fill the house because you don't want to incur the cost that it takes when you don't have a tenant. Lord have mercy. So tonight, I'm coming to you in a dual fashion as I sign off tonight. Are you ready? And only you know. If I'm speaking truth tonight, I believe you know it. Are you ready for a relationship? Are you clear? God bless you, Terry, champion, from the previous relationship. If you're not clear, don't let somebody else in order to try to help wean you off that person. When you're being rejected, that's a devastating thing. When you're in love with somebody and they don't want you, after you've given them everything you can possibly give them, thank you, Tina, stay true to yourself. It's a devastating thing. And that loneliness often makes us vulnerable to the point where we do some serious dumb things. Women, your reputation precedes you, and there's a double standard out there. You know that, men sleep with all these women, and they don't expect to be looked at in a bad way. But when you make a mistake, people look at you and men, they judge you differently. I'm going to say this. I wanted to post this, but as a pastor, I got to watch what I post. I can probably say it because people don't watch my videos. My church folk don't watch my videos, which is great. I could say this and get away with it in the context of a video, but I can't post it. There are some women, some of you watching me, who have slept with men not because you were fast, not because you were loose, but you were devastated in your moment of devastation and loneliness and rejection. You slept with somebody that you weren't in a relationship with. Thank God for those men who were mature enough not to spread that or tell anybody about that. You don't have to post it, just flow with what I'm saying. Wouldn't that be a devastating thing that someone that caught you at your worst time of your life and that you gave into would tell people that you slept with them? It takes a mature man to keep it quiet. And we thank God because you don't need that out there. And people don't look at that the same. Yeah, it happens. It happens. But thank goodness that this person was mature enough that they kept it and they didn't spread that. Thank God that you were covered. So it wasn't your personal business, the time that you were at the... See, that's how remember, this is what I'm talking about tonight. This is how devastating this can be. If you're not clear, you end up giving things you have no business giving and you're not prepared to give. And they take it. So that's that. Thank God, hopefully, that this person was a mature person. But now, when you know better, you do better. You must pre-screen pre-screen yourself first. Take take the time to figure out where you're at, because if you take the time to figure out where you're at emotionally, physically, spiritually, then you'll know if you're ready or not to be in a relationship. You'll know if don't try to add somebody and then try to hope that you can fix it on the way. It's not gonna work, because you're gonna end up taking shortcuts. So you must make sure that you're clear before you add somebody. Okay? Now, you're clear. You're over that person. Being over that person is being able to say no. Being over that person means to be able to say no to them at any time. No. They text you? No. Can I come on? No. Well, can you come over? No. Can we think about getting back together? No. If you can answer no to all of those questions, and you know when you're clear, to the point where you see them out with somebody else and it doesn't bother you. It takes a long time sometimes to get there. But when you can see them, when you can say, you know what, we're two mature adults, it just didn't work out for us. I care for them, but I'm over that now. I want them to be happy. Boom, they got their person. Fine. I'm clear. Now you're ready. Now, and as I sign off, the person that you're thinking about letting in your life, they're just walking in the doctor's office for the first time. Anybody that walks in there, they gotta get the iPad. They gotta get the iPad, and they've got to, what medications are you on? What are you currently taking? Before the doctor see you, I need to know what you got. What's going on with you? What medications are you that you currently taking? You need to find out. God bless you, Bobby. You need to find out if they're over the previous relationship. If they're still taking medication and you try to add them on and they're not over, they're not done, they're taking medication because they still have symptoms and problems from the previous situation, you try to add them into your life, they're going to end up possibly using you. And you won't realize, and they may not realize. Sometimes we do this subconsciously because of our human need. I'm signing off right now. But sometimes you won't realize it until years later. It's way too late. Many of us have had failed marriages. Can I put myself up? Michelle Clark says confirmation. Sharon Baker says, come on now. Can I be on? Can I expose myself? Can I be honest as a man? There were women that I've allowed in my life. I've even married someone who wasn't over their ex. I'm thinking that I got it going on. People see me. Thank you, Stevie Habersham. Thank you, man. I believe I'm helping somebody tonight. I'm walking. I'm like, man, I pulled this. I got this woman. Man, she's fine. Woo. I walk in church, and I'm proud. I'm strutting, and those of you that haven't seen me in person, I'm a short guy. I know that might let you down, but I don't care. My wife loves me. I got the Kirk Franklin, Kevin Hart thing going on. I'm a short guy. All right. I'm bald, but hey, I still feel good about myself. I'm walking in, here's this short guy, you pull this model, and I'm walking around, and everybody's like wondering, wow, how did he, and I'm thinking that there's something awesome about me. But I'm nothing but methadone to this person. Renata said I'm helping. Okay. I was nothing but methadone. They didn't do it on purpose. They're not a bad person. I just want to clear that up just in case they happen to find this video. God bless you, Sophie. That's right, Rob. Small things come in big packages. God bless you, Barbara. God bless you, Bobby Tolbert. Michelle Clark. this person really thought that they liked me. They knew they weren't over that other person, but they thought that they really loved me. But once we got into the relationship and the methadone did what it was supposed to do, it detoxed them from the drug of that person, previous person that they were with. Once the detox was fully in effect and they were over the previous drug, then they, God bless you, Julia. She said, I really need this right now. Then they realized, and we had some great times together. They was a wonderful person, kind person. But then they realized that they weren't in love with me. And it made the marriage an unbearable one. How many of us have been in a marriage like that? How many of us entered into a marriage like that? You thought you loved the person. They helped you get over the other person. And then when you really got into it and you really, once you detox, you realize, oh man, woo, I ain't feeling this. How many people have been used in the same manner? Keisha Wade says, I have. So tonight, as I sign off, I want you to consider what I'm saying. Because now you've been warned. Now we've made it clear for you to look at this differently and be careful. Tomorrow when you go on to work, I just want you to, when you're sitting at your desk, those of you that work in an office or whatever, look around at the various people in your office. And just not dating, I'm just about women, men, just look at people in general. And just say to yourself, Cherry was talking about medication. Many of these people are on medication, real medication, pharmaceuticals, and you don't know what, you don't know what they're taking unless they tell you. Think about that. They seem to be happy. These are people we respect. They ain't got no, God bless you, Winter. I love that name, Winter Nace. You don't know what medications they're on. I'm saying that to say that the person that may show interest or that you may show interest in, God bless you, Deborah Ford, singer extraordinaire. God bless you, Deborah. When they come to you, you can't take it by face value. Thank you, Kathy Dingle. That they're not on anything. That there's not a previous relationship hidden in the background. That there's no pharmaceuticals that are currently in their body. Oh, y'all not with me. And the only way that you're going to be able to tell spiritually is you're going to have to do a drug test. Oh, I got to sign off tonight. It's late. Y'all got to go to bed. It's time. You got to get up for work early. But I've got to say this, and I'm signing off. I was an administrator in a hospital, and I supervised, it was at least 70 some people. Nurses, I supervised them indirectly. Directly, I supervised the CNAs and unit clerks. 3 shifts in the hospital. I supervised all these people. And when I had a candidate that I interviewed, because I had to fill 3 shifts, I was always looking for somebody to hire to work in our unit at the hospital. This was in Colorado. And I was told by my boss and trained by my boss, she said, if you like someone that you're interviewing, immediately, don't let them go home, offer to take them downstairs to employee health to have a pre-screen to have them screened for drugs, to have a drug test. Watch this. And this one lady, she interviewed so well for the position. Her credentials were on point. I said, I'm going to have to do a part 2, OC. You're right. I might have to do a part 2. Thank you for suggesting that. OC McClendon, y'all thank her. She just recommended that. So I said, okay, I'm going to take, I said, I really like you. One of the things we do, we're going to take you downstairs now for a drug test. I said, do you consent? She said, yeah, fine. I took the lady downstairs, and she's immediately trying to find some water. She's like, can I get some water? And I said, well, there's a fountain down here, or I can get some water, whatever. And she was trying to drink. And I'm watching, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. This woman's trying to delude. y'all not with me. This woman's trying to delude whatever's in her system. So I left her out there with the cup of water. I went in to find out how much longer it was going to take, because this woman was kind of, watch this. This is going to help you right here. This woman was kind of fidgety, and she wanted to get it done as soon as possible, and she was nervous about it. Let me cut right here to help you. Anybody who comes into your life who appears to be in a hurry has drugs in their system. What does that mean? There's a hidden agenda somewhere. There's something going on. Okay? Sharon Baker said, I'm hollering. Wake up everybody in the house and holler. Anybody that's in a hurry to get to you, there's something in their system. She was fidgety. She's drinking the water fidgety. I went in to try to see how much longer, because I'm like, man, we're going to lose this awesome candidate. And I went in, came back out, and I looked at the bench, and nobody's sitting there. I looked down the hall, this woman, she took off running down the hall. She wasn't ready. She had something in her system. I'm so glad that I took the time, I followed my boss's instruction. If I'd have let this woman go home, she would have done whatever she did do to detox, and then to come back, and then we would have caught it later on at some other point if she had or we might not have caught it at all. So you see what I'm saying? Watch those who are in a hurry. I'm signing off. If somebody talks about sex in any shape or form, make a joke, anything like that, they're not ready. They got drugs in the system. If a person is mentioning about a previous lover, sit back, go, okay, and don't say anything. Just let them roll with it as I sign off. Let them roll with it. See if you can catch any feelings or emotional attachment. See if you see that. Are they upset? See what's going on. They're letting you know that I have drugs in my system. Pre-screen. The only way you could pre-screen is if you're not on drugs yourself. If I was high when I was at the hospital, I might not have caught any of this stuff this woman was doing. But because I was clarity and clear, Lord help, I was able to discern and see what's going on. I knew something was going on before the woman even took off running down the hall. But if I'm caught up in what I need, that I needed to fill the position, I might have missed what I needed to see in the prescreening element. You trying to satisfy this body? That's what I'm telling you. You got to overcome that. You're going to take shortcuts. You're not going to be able to pre-screen properly. If you're lonely and desperate, you're going to be vulnerable to try to fill the position. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with me tonight. We'll work on a part 2. If not tomorrow, it will definitely be on Thursday. I love you all. Share this with someone that you know needs this video. Good night.